Hey beauty babes, welcome to my channel. I am Maria, aka agapelovegirl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Well, as you can see, I am back with a new Get the Look tutorial for this chocolate brown smoky eye. But I just wanted to mention that I am not fond of this look, and I almost completely scrapped it without sharing. And I'm not quite sure what went wrong because I liked the eye look on its own, and I liked my face makeup just fine before I did my eyes, but the completed look is just off. Maybe it was the mistake of doing my face makeup before doing a dark smoky eye and the fallout made a mess. Maybe it was my bad hair day or just a mixture of both. I don't know. Either way, I know something is off on this look, and I didn't realize it until after looking back at the footage a few days later. But I decided to share this look anyways so that you can see we all have bad days. My makeup isn't always on point, and that's okay. I'm sure there's still some things that can be learned from this video, so I do hope you enjoy it regardless. Alright, I'm going to start off by prepping my face with this pumpkin seed serum from Derma. This serum is packed with antioxidants and nutrients and works to deeply heal, nourish, and replenish your skin's hydration, and it can also be used on any part of your body that craves hydration. I actually got this in my Lux Pineapple Post subscription box, and I've been using it a lot lately. Next up, I did my brows off camera because it's boring and nothing new, and I did them extra bold this day. Don't ask me why, I don't know. Moving on to foundation, I used one that's new to me. This is the Doll 10 Beauty HydraBalm foundation in the shade Tan, and I buffed it in with one of their dual-ended brushes. This foundation is super lightweight and feels very moisturizing. The coverage is light to medium and gives a nice natural finish. What's nice is this foundation can be built up, but I didn't want to use a lot because I felt like the color was a bit too orange on me, even though it pretty much matches my neck and chest, but I don't know. I do like the foundation though. Anyways, in hopes of balancing out the foundation, I decided to use a very light concealer. This is the Shape Tape in the shade Fair Beige. I kind of feel like this is where it started to go wrong. I should have used my normal shade, which is light, and I also really should have done my face after doing my eye makeup, but oh well, we can't always fix our mistakes, we could only learn from them. To set the concealer in place, I used the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder, which is one of my very favorite setting powders. And once I put on a generous amount, I go in right away with a dual fiber brush and blend some of the powder onto the rest of my face and then swipe off any excess. Next, for contour and blush, I'm using a few more new products. These are the Makeup Forever Artist Face Colors. The contour shade I use is S116, and I really like these. They're so soft and smooth, they almost feel creamy. I don't know how to explain it, but they're easy to work with and blend really well and also provide a lovely natural finish. Before going into blush, I just decided to add a little bit more setting powder to certain parts of my face for a kind of cleaner, more sharp look. And then the blush shade I used is B302. Next, I wipe off the excess powder and set it with the Urban Decay setting spray. Moving on to my eyes, I'm going into the MBA Cosmetics Pressed Matte Shadow in the shade Tranquil. This will be my transition shade. And as you can see, I also laid down some more setting powder to catch any fallout. Next, I'm going into the shade Dark Roast, and I'm going to apply this to the inner and outer corners of my eyes, as well as slightly into my crease, like the start of a halo eye. I'm not being too precise though, because this is just the base for the next shade. So next I'll be applying the MBA Cosmetics Silk Effect Shadow in the shade Swiss Chocolate right over top, across the majority of my lid, but focusing most of the color on the very center. Next up, I'm going back in with that first blending brush I used and just doing a little bit more blending in my crease just to marry all the shades and make everything look smooth and seamless. Then I wanted to make this look a little more dimensional, so I grabbed another Silk Effect shadow in the shade Terra Rosa, which is a cool bronzy mauve. Now, because I wanted the shade to really stand out against the brown shade, I used some setting spray to give this shadow a bit of a foiled effect. When doing this, I encourage you to spray your brush after you dip it into your shadow. Oftentimes, if you wet the brush before you go into the shadow, it can cause your eyeshadows to hard pan and ruin them. I also just think the shadow applies better when they are wet on the brush as opposed to being a dry shadow on a wet brush, if that makes sense. So anyways, moving on, I'm going to be bringing the shadow Swiss Chocolate to my lower lash line, and then for highlight, I use the Silk Effect shadow in the shade Vanilla Pearl, applying that to the inner corner of my eyes and then on my brow bone as well. Now that I'm done with the shadows, I'm just wiping away that setting powder and then moving on to some eyeliner. This is the MBA Cosmetics Superhero Liner. It's a felt tip liner and it has become my new favorite liner. It applies product so well and even can be built up upon itself. Other liners often remove the product if you go over it and try to reline any areas, and this one doesn't, so it's nice. So I'm just adding a little subtle bit of this liner at my lash line. I really thought about attempting a wing, but since I already had foundation on, I didn't want to risk messing it up. Next up for lashes, I decided to skip the falsies and just use mascara because there have been a few requests for looks without lashes. So this is a fairly new mascara to me that I decided to purchase after seeing a commercial for it, and it has become my new go-to. I really haven't stopped using it for the past few weeks, and this is the CoverGirl Total Tease mascara, and the wand, as you can see, looks insane. But I gotta tell you, it's absolutely fabulous. It separates and defines my lashes while also adding volume and length. And while it takes some getting used to, the comb on the end of the wand really helps you grab every lash, and I just love it. Moving on to lips, I decided to go in with the Makeup Forever Artist Liquid Lipstick in the shade 301 Rust. However, I ended up trying some other shades and thought that the shade 205 Mauvy Pink looked even better with this look. And I actually have a lip swatch video of all the new Makeup Forever liquid lipstick colors, which includes several other shades that I think actually paired really well with this look. So I'll include a link to that in the info box if you want to check it out. Lastly, it is time for highlight, and this is the Bitter Lace Beauty highlight in the shade Buried Treasure, which is part of their new Mermaid Dreams collection. I also have a video swatching all of the highlights in that collection as well, if you are interested in seeing more. And that wraps it up for this look and tutorial. Even though it wasn't my best, I really hope you found it helpful, useful, if not entertaining at the least. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, beauty babes!